top, Schmitt Tonight. Many well-known economists, including inverse Jim Cramer, predicted that we'd see another Black Monday today. The Dow was set to fall thousands more points after a very rough end to last week. But after what was a slippery start, by this afternoon, much of the pain had been reversed today. The NASDAQ actually closed positive. S&P was basically flat. The Dow was down 350 points, which is less than 1% when the Dow is hovering close to 40,000. Helping to ease the pain was a very relaxed president with Netanyahu in the Oval Office today. Take a listen.
We're going to get fair deals and good deals with every country, and if we don't, we're going to have nothing to do with them. They're not going to be allowed to participate in the United States. When countries don't allow us to sell our product, but we allow them to sell their product, when they charge us massive amounts of money for the privilege of going into their country, those days are over.
So that's the kind of talk that helps kind of stabilize everything, right? Remind Americans that he's just fighting for a stronger country, a stronger economy. We've been treated badly. Let's fix that. People love that, right? The problem is right now that's not the only messaging that we're hearing. The messaging is kind of all over the place, and it's likely intentional. Think about it this way. There is no way for our president to negotiate new trade deals that nobody wants with stable messaging. He's got to appear erratic. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what he wants. The nations we're trying to correct need to think that Trump could do anything in this moment. He has to be unpredictable to force radical change in global trade because nobody else wants to change a thing. They've had a great deal for a very long time. So our president has to look kind of crazy. Nobody can really tell what the end game is here because Trump doesn't want anyone to know, doesn't want to show any cards. It's very simple. Trump's advisors are bragging that 50 nations are now lined up to negotiate free trade and fair trade, while Trump today, again, at the same time, begins glorifying our economic situation from 140 or 150 years ago when tariffs alone were basically our sole source of revenue.
Our country was the strongest, believe it or not, from 1870 to 1913. You know why? It was all tariff-based. We had no income tax. Then in 1913, some genius came up with the idea of let's charge the people of our country, not foreign countries that are ripping off our country.
Imagine no income tax. Oh, think about sending nothing to the IRS every year. It does sound nice. We were all born about 150 years too late, I suspect. Today there was a reporter, though, and as you kind of see what he's doing here, the messaging is all over the place, and that's likely for a reason, even though it's driving the markets mad and it's driving the media mad. But today a reporter tried to corner the president on exactly what it is that he wants out of this. And again, Trump gives up nothing.
There have been some mixed messages from your administration. You're talking about negotiations, and yet others in your administration are saying that these tariffs are actually permanent. What is the action?
Well, it could be. They can both be true. There can be permanent tariffs, and there can also be negotiations.
Could be tariffs forever. They could end tomorrow. We really don't know. Of course, the other side is having a field day with all of this. The left is in turmoil right now. They see this as a road to redemption for a politically dead Democrat Party. On MSNBC this morning, before the markets opened, Joe Scarborough assailed billionaire investor Bill Ackman, who supported Trump in this last election, but is now critical of the tariff plan, essentially calling Ackman a fool for flipping to Trump because some people on college campuses offended him, Scarborough said, marginalizing the fact that Scarborough's team is now apparently okay with gangs of Jew-hating pro-Hamas Nazis running wild in our country. Scarborough's guest then said this in response to Trump comparing the stock market dip right now to a sick patient taking his medicine.
This is not something that had to happen. This is, what football players would call an own goal. Second of all, the president, I have the quote here, he says that sometimes you have to take medicine to fix something. The problem was the patient wasn't sick. This is economic malpractice.
The patient wasn't sick. Imagine saying that with a straight face. Middle class in this country has been decimated. Quality of life, cost of living. How many different ways can we show that the patient is very sick? Our industrial base has disappeared. Not that East Coast millionaires on TV really care about any of that. And that guy's a Republican, by the way. And he's not alone. Trump is losing allies over this plan, over this scheme. Elon Musk has been very critical of all of this, very critical of Peter Navarro. In the Senate, Rand Paul, Chuck Grassley, and also many like Ted Cruz, nervous that the tariffs will never end, that this isn't just a negotiation for free and fair trade, that Trump's trying to move us to a tariff base as far as revenue for the government. Again, nobody knows because he can't show the cards, because if he shows the cards and everybody realizes he's just trying to get free and fair trade, then there's not many people that are really going to jump. But maybe the funniest part of all of this has been watching Democrats rush to defend Wall Street and mega corporations. Democrats are now sounding like Republicans from 20 years ago. Take a listen.
The only conclusion that one can draw is that Donald Trump and Republicans are intentionally tanking the economy.
I've never seen an administration in my lifetime do something so monumentally wrong and that so staggeringly hurts American people.
We don't have to just stand by and watch everything melt down because Donald Trump has engaged in this crazy round of tariffs.
Pocahontas, too? We have Trump working to bring, jobs and industry back to the United States. That's the stated goal of all of this. Wages back. Blue-collar work back. Let's strengthen the country. Let's get these jobs back. Let's give the middle class a better shot. Let's get the money out of the pockets of Wall Street. And there's Liz Warren on TV screaming in defense of giant globalist outsourcing corporations? Liz Warren? This is like her wheelhouse. This is all she ever talks about. The same people that have won elections for decades now, promising to bring jobs back and go after Wall Street, are now chastising the first politician who ever tried to do it. The very action that they've been using to get elected for 30 years, somebody actually tries to do it and they scream about it. The irony of that is just too good. To any Democrat that is lambasting the president tonight, know this: you can never again, with an ounce of integrity, scream about too much wealth at the top and the disappearing middle class. You just can't do it. This is the boldest move we have ever seen on behalf of the American worker, the little guy, that's been completely ignored and marginalized by both political parties for 4 decades now. Somebody's finally doing it. And of course it's ugly and painful because this whole system is glued together in a bad way. But taking it apart is going to hurt. Hopefully swing voters in the Rust Belt will remember just how cowardly people like Liz Warren handled this moment when they are out there begging for their votes in about 18 months. You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmitt tonight on Newsmax.